Hi, welcome to So Get the Podcast. Hi, I'm Katie. Let's get this show started. So today, I want to start off with Fugees. One of the members of Fugees, Prayers admits he was a FBI informant and faces 22 years in prison. He's accused of helping a businessman gain political influence in the U.S. in exchange for $100 million. You went from one of the members to $100 million. But you had to most likely give up your freedom for that. Was it worth it? Probably not. Something else came across my radar as well. Chucky. I know most people grew up with Chucky, the Child's Play doll. Yeah, as a kid, mostly I think it was late 80s, early 80s, late 80s. Coming to find out, the original actor from Child's Play gets caught trying to solicit sex with kids. So that's why they call it Child's Play, right? Chicago. Seemed like every other episode, like something going on in Chicago. So there was two teens facing misdemeanor charges after they allegedly stole a car and crashed it, killing a 6-month-old baby in Chicago. It's very unfortunate. The boys, ages of 17 and 14, they both were charged with the misdemeanor, as I stated, criminal trespassing and deadly April 16 crash in the city West Garfield Park neighborhood, according to Chicago police. The teens were driving a stolen Hyundai when they slammed into a Ford pickup truck at an intersection of the West Washington Belvedere North Avenue short after 5 p.m. According to the cops, a 6-month-old boy, Christian, died in the hospital following the crash. It's another baby that hasn't got a chance to live his or her life. It's very unfortunate. We gotta do better. Something else came across my head. So AI, right? They now can find every photo of you online. A facial recognition website that uses specialized bot to locate every single picture of a person that's ever been shared online. Rearing his ugly head. I don't know what that means, but that sounds like a mugshot to me. But they say it's deemed a stalker's dream and the most disturbing AI website on the internet on Twitter. The site is known as a identified search engine that's said to be similar to, yet a bit more sophisticated than Google's reverse image search tool. Its homepage users are prompted to upload their photo in order to find where their image has been published. The facial recognition service isn't free. Of course it's not, right? Nor is it cheap. People wanting to keep tabs on their mugs are given the option to select one of their monthly and or annually payment plans, each offering various perks. Monthly package range in price from $30 to $300. For yearly billing, clients are asked to pay between $300 to $3,000. So you spending money just to make sure that they got your right photos, right, that you're using your selfie stick, right? But there's so much technology that's out here now that you can find anything pretty much. Something else came across my radar. So this is very interesting here. It was a tornado that was captured in a video. I'm not sure exactly what city and or state this was in, but it actually went viral, I believe, via TikTok on some platform. Somewhere between, I believe, 1 million to 6 million views on this particular video. They said that it was an unusual cloud, shapes and different things like that. Man captures footage of a ghostly figures walking out of clouds. The footage was posted by a user, which I stated, name was Big Potato, of course, who spotted during a broadcasting following a tornado His clip racked up more than 6.1 million, as I stated, views and 11,600 comments in 1 week as viewers shared their theories on the mystery site. These statements from different people. That could be people's souls that passed in the tornado, one speculated. Another one, 3 of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Others suggested that the shapes was angels, aliens, giants, and a sign from God, right? While others said bluntly, it's just clouds. It's always a hate. Elsewhere, users shared their own experience of unexplained sights. I've seen something when I was younger. I've never forgotten it, one wrote. Both me and my 21-year-old son saw something in 2018 that left us with zero doubt that things beyond our comprehension exist. That's a good one. I believe the person that posted the video, Big Potato, followed by sharing another video showing human-like shapes in the sky with the caption, "Y'all gonna deny this one too, huh?" I think they don't believe it because we live in a time where people edit so many things, so how could they believe? One wrote, but I believe it. I say this thing, do you believe in something you can't see, smell, or touch? And most people responded, no, they don't trust that. So, yes, most people out here with their perspective or mental capacity, they don't believe anything outside of what they can see, smell, or touch. So for those who are commenting on this post, it was very unique during this time of discomfort in the world with everything else that's taking place. Why wouldn't you believe it, right? It's better late than never. But moving on, something else came across my radar. This U.S. faces threats beyond Earth Space Force chief says. They call it a new era. Space Force Governor Schultzman said that the United States is currently in a new era of space actively while giving his keynote speech at the Space Symposium in Colorado Springs, right? Schultzman, who is the second ever chief of space operation for the branch, elaborated on his public statement during a post-speech interview. He was on CNBC. The threats that we face to our on-orbit capabilities from the strategic competitors have grown. Schultzman said while appearing on CBCN, the Space Podcast, which served as his first broadcasting interview since taking over the Space Force. Highest-ranking military officials last November were seen in space with a tracked object and a number of satellite payloads, and just the launches themselves have grown at an experimental rate. UFO sightings in recent years. In January, reports released by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence revealed details behind more than 150 previous unexplained UFO sightings among the 366 reported to the Pentagon since March 2021. This was reported by the NBC News. Aliens, people walking on clouds. I'm seeing holes in the earth. There's photos and stuff out there. Just everything that's taking place right now. People need to get prepared. Now you would say prepare for what? You need to prepare for something that's going to happen. If you're not sure what to get prepared for, you need to be with somebody that has an idea and or imagination to move forward in the future, because right now it seems like nothing is normal. Well, no more, right? Since this whole pandemic has happened. So I'm going to move on, right? The NFL draft is coming up. I know I stated in a few episodes ago that I was going to do, I believe, a mock draft, as they call it. With this draft, this will probably be the most intrigued draft ever. It's a lot of talent in every position this year, especially quarterback. So if you're looking for a franchise quarterback, you should definitely find one this year. Outside of that, you have some teams and or franchises that's looking for their signal caller. You can easily see, in my opinion, 10 quarterbacks being drafted in this year 2023 NFL draft. Now, in what order? I don't know. So with the first round, which that's all I did, right? This is the real board, as I stated. No trades. It's just pretty much every team staying put, which we know it's not gonna happen. But if they so happen to stay with their pick, they have to pick. So with the very first pick, okay, 1 second. With the very first pick, NFL draft, in a crazy draft, I would probably say Anthony Richardson. With the draft picks, you want to get the best value out of the picks, but you don't want to forget the tape, because the tape don't lie. I know the 40-yard dash and the measurements and those things, your stock can actually rise or fall. So you got to keep that in mind. But overall, the tape don't lie. So in a fantasy draft world, Anthony Richardson will probably go number 1. But on the real board, the board I have here, Bryce Young should be the first overall pick. Well deserving. He's shown that he can play. I believe he started the last 2 or 3 years of his collegiate year. He's just the quarterback, just to go number 1. It just makes sense for him to go number 1. With the number 2 pick, it's unfortunate that he went through what he gone through. This player was considered the number 1 overall pick until he got involved in an incident that he should not have gotten himself involved with. I don't necessarily I put a little bit of that pressure on. Sorry, I had the connection. I would put that on management, his team, whoever was helping him through this process to get drafted. Drag racing on street, it's not should not have happened. If you want to do some type of racing, you should just did it legitly. But he so happened took upon himself and did some type of drag racing with a friend or strangers, I'm not sure exactly, and it kind of messed up his draft stock a little bit in some people's eyes. But if it wasn't so many quarterbacks coming out, he would be clearly the best player, should be the number 1 player being picked, and that would be Jalen Carter from Georgia, the D lineman. And on my board, he's the second best prospect on this board here. I'm not sure where he will fall. He should not fall out of the top 10. But this NFL draft can be a tricky one. But I believe he's arguably the best player coming out of this draft, that D lineman. The 3rd pick. Now, this was a tricky one because I believe the Arizona Cardinals have this pick. They could go in any direction. Like I said, I don't have any trades here. So if they would stay with their pick, I could see them. They should pick the talented running back from Texas, which his name is Robinson, right? He's arguably the best player in this draft too as well. I could see them trading a pick. I could also see them drafting an offensive lineman as well. And it's a lot of those in this draft. You could just pick one, right? Just close your eyes and just throw a dart and you have a Pro Bowl caliber offensive lineman. It's at least a good 6 to 8 of them this year. What the next pick, which is the 4th pick, would be, I have C.J. Stroud, which he can go arguably number 1 or top 3, but he should not go out of the top 5. The tape speaks for itself. he performed pretty well. Him and Marvin Harrison Jr. definitely brought their stock up this year from the performance they had. With the 5th pick, should be Will Anderson from Alabama. He's just too talented as a pass rusher. He should definitely not go out of the top 6, really, to be honest. With the next pick, which is 6, this is the draft board. It's not in, no particular team order. Devon Witherspoon, the talented corner, had a marvelous year. He arguably had the best year of any corner in the collegiate year. So he's very talented. With the 7th, the tight end from Utah, Delton. He can play. He reminds me of a Kelsey or Kittle, a little split image of both. And nowadays in this playing style in the offense, sorry about that, you need a tight end that can actually get upfield and cause matchup problems with linebackers and safety. And he's definitely a matchup nightmare. Now, this is where, I had, with the 3rd pick, I had Arizona picking a tackle, but I just switched it right before I aired this. So I had the running back from Texas here at 8, but this is where the tackles start falling. Like I said, you can just close your eyes and pick a tackle, but I believe the very first one should be the Northwestern tackle, Peter Skoronski. He's definitely Skoronski. That's how you pronounce his name. He's a good tackle. He has all-pro potential. Like I stated, like 6 to 8 other tackles have that type of potential as well, so you really can't go wrong. And that would be the 8th pick. And like I said, the 9th pick would be another tackle, which would be from Georgia, Broderick Jones. Definitely another good tackle, left tackle. Most likely he should be playing left tackle, but in the league they always switch you from left to right, depending on your footwork and your hand movement. Now with the 10th pick, I believe that's the Eagles pick. Now the Eagles lost some great players in their secondary. They can stand a running back, but on this board, the running back is gone. That's even worth the 10th overall pick with the Robinson running back from Texas. He's already gone off the board. So I went on and gave, the 10th pick would be Brian Branch from Alabama, the safety / corner. He could do it all type player. Both safety positions. He could play the slot. Possibly can line up outside. Depends on if it's a tight end on the running back that goes in motion. He's arguably the best safety in his draft. I'm not sure too many other safety that has that caliber of talent that comes from that background of winning. Now, here's when I have a run on the quarterback. The 11th pick, I believe it's the Titans. Will Levis. I have the Titans taking the Kentucky quarterback. After him, I have Anthony Richardson, which would be the 12th pick from Florida. 13 would be Paris Johnson, which is the tackle, which I stated they would just be coming off the board as soon as the first one gets drafted. He's from Ohio State, the Paris Johnson. 14 is cornerback Dante Banks from Maryland. He's another very talented cornerback. During the combine, his measurements was some of the best this year. He's from Maryland. 15, tackle Darnell Wright from Tennessee. That's another tackle that's all-pro potential. I'm not sure if he's going to be left or right, but I believe he can play along the whole line. 16, which would be the Commanders. Now, this is it's like the Arizona thing with them. They could go either way. The Commanders can easily trade up if someone drops that of their liking on their board. But if they have to stay and pick, I've seen most mock drafts picking this cornerback. And looking at the board, I can see why most people are drafting this individual player. He's very talented, had one of his best years. His measurement is nice. I believe it's 6'2", 190, maybe 195, 200 pounds. Cornerback Joey Porter Jr. It was a toss-up between him and Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez is very talented. He's very talented. Shutdown potential. Maybe the likes of Chan Bailey, Patrick Peterson, just to name a few that had that. Jalen Ramsey that has that type of talent that could just take half of the field or a player out of the game. So, but I gave the Commanders Joey Porter Jr. He has that potential as well. He can stop the run. He's an overall cornerback, and he's physical too as well. The next pick, which is 17, I'm not sure who has that pick. It's a wide receiver from Ohio State, Smith and Jabi. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not sure. Forgive me if I said it incorrectly. But the wide receiver, Smith from Ohio State, arguably the best. He's arguably the best wide receiver in this draft. There's not too many receivers in this draft this year that are clear-cut first-round talent, but he's clearly one. Wouldn't surprise me, the wide receiver from Ohio State, Smith, if he went top 10, between 10 and 15, but I have him here at 17 on this board. 18, Christian Gonzalez, Oregon, the corner. This at number 18. Number 19. It's the second tight end off the board, Michael Myers from Notre Dame. His game reminds me of Jeremy Shockey, similar to that style of play. He's very talented as well. The D lineman from Pittsburgh, he reminds me of Aaron Donald, same measurement, same height, might be a little faster. McCansey, I believe that's his name. This is probably would be the only D tackle drafted in the first round. I'm not sure how many there are in this year's draft that has first round talent or worthy of even being drafted that high, but he's one of them, maybe the only one in the first round. Pick 21, receiver Jordan Addison from USC. He's arguably the best receiver, and this is a rundown when the receivers just start dropping as well too. Next pick 22 is Quentin Johnson from TCU. He's arguably one of the best receivers this year as well. He's very talented. He's not like those other receivers that went before him. He's more of a specimen, like a DJ Metcalf type body type. So he with speed and can run pretty much all the routes. 23 is another tackle from Oklahoma, Anton Harrison. That's another tackle. Pick 24, Emmanuel Forbes from Mississippi State. Now that's the corner I was going to give to the Commanders, but like I stated, if we just going off of the team to stand where they are and you going off the tape, Emmanuel Forbes from Mississippi State definitely had a great collegiate career, but the tape, far as Gonzalez and Joey Porter and the Dantes from Maryland and the one from Illinois, right, Devon, Emmanuel could easily win in those spots. Next pick, which he should, it's not as many offensive guards in this draft that should go high. Now 25 guard from Florida, Osiris Torrance. In my opinion, he's arguably the best lineman in this year's draft. Even though he plays guard, but he can definitely play. He came from Florida. Now, I know most will probably say, where's all the edge rushers and the quarterbacks and the tackles, and just took over this draft. So I have the very first edge. Let me make sure I have it correctly. Edge rusher. Yes, this would be the first one. Tyree Wilson. I know a lot of people have him in the top 10, so that's probably outside of the tape. He probably went to the combine and tore it up, so that's probably why his stock went up. But I have him going 26. He's from Texas Tech. The next edge rusher will be Miles Murphy. He can really play from Clemson. Edge rusher. He can go around the edge pretty fast. He's physical too as well. He's a very athletic, could drop in coverage and do a multitude of different things. Now this is the first center coming out off the board in the first round draft. I have John Michaels from Minnesota. Definitely can play. It's I believe it's 2 or 3 of them that's can be considered being drafted in the first round. The next pick, I have the tackle, Dwayne Jones, sorry, from Ohio State. I'm sorry, Dwayne Jones. He's another, I believe he's the 6'8", 6'9" tackle. About 3. He can play. You can't move him at all. I'm not sure what side he would play on, as far as the left side or the right side. But either side, he could definitely should dominate in the next level. The running back from, this is the 30th pick, the running back from Alabama, Gibbs, he can play. He can really play. Like I stated, I do not have the order of the draft, who's picking at what location in front of me. It's just the board, far as the skill set, the tape, and I guess they call it the top 100 players. The 31st pick, I've seen them via social media going back and forth, maybe practicing with each other or doing some pass and run routes combination. Wide receiver Zay Flowers from Boston College. He can play. He can really run routes. He's smooth. Looking forward to seeing him play in the very near future. Now, the 32nd pick of the first round, I have 2 players here, and they both are edge rushers. One is Van Ness from Iowa, and there's another one from Iowa State, Will McDonald. Pretty much similar players to me, type potential. You can't really go wrong with either or. But the one I have here is the Lucas Van Ness, going at that pick at 32. It won't shock me that the Will McDonald will get picked for the first pick in the second round of the draft. Wanted to get that out there. That was just, like I said, I call it the real board. I know the fans people have their board, their mock draft. I haven't seen one group or particular person have 4, 5, 6 different mock drafts switched up. So I'm just going to stick with what I have here and just see how it all fall out this year's draft. I believe it's Thursday, the first round. Podcast might actually, the show might take it on the road. We will see. I might have a surprise episode for you all. For those who's tuning in, continue to tune in. I surely appreciate it. Hi, I'm KD, and this is So Get the Podcast. See you later.